not sure this is a good idea. Oh, it's going to be like that. I love strong women. They make the best servants. I couldn't help but overhear... Well, alright, I could have helped, but didn't.
Mighty booyog.
A goblin healer. We really are desperate, aren't we? I hope so. Good night. So that's to say you'd like to pry a little. You do seem like the type, I must say. My, look at you. Straight as an arrow and right to the point every time. This isn't the tadpole I'm speaking to, is it? The personality seems a little lacking. And that's the vessel you chose. I jest. It's good to know you're not entirely without a sense of humor. What is it? If you're sure. I won't pretend I'm disappointed. Your company is... Never mind. See you at camp, perhaps. Let a girl have some secrets. If I wanted a tail, I'd kill a cat. I'm not looking for hunting advice, Gith. How heroic. I was wondering if we'd survive encountering such a fearsome beast. For instance, you're a quick-to-anger type, aren't you? Even less self-control than brains. Ha! There it is. Oh, don't pout, you walked right into that. And there's no harm in a little hot-bloodedness. No harm at all, in fact. Inquisitive, looking for connection. It's every man for himself, and you're looking to make friends. Admirable, I suppose. Or desperate. I'm not quite sure. If you want something from a person, you need to know when and where to squeeze. Don't get too ahead of yourself. I'm just having a little fun. But who's to say? I might need a distraction some evening. These campsites do get cold. The voice said I'd become a beautiful weapon. What do you think that means? Ha! Adorable. But your timing is awful.
You have made an ally from Kresh Kalir. Few know such fortune. Call me Lae'zel.
Fool. No point in showing a mad dog kindness. It'll still bite you in the end.
You've a sharp tongue. Would that your mind proved its equal.
Half-elf. I suppose the finer details are lost on a creature like you. As long as we have use for each other, I can bite my tongue and stay my blade. I don't see what more needs to be said on the matter. Like oil complements an open flame, perhaps. But suppose I turn. What would you do? Really? I'd just kill you. Anyway, get some rest. Try not to dream about tying me up. Huh! And I'd chase you as fast as my tentacles could carry me. You're funny. I hadn't thought of that. What do you have in mind? Brambles on bearskin aren't as fun in practice, I'm afraid. Besides, I can't afford to tire you out. We still have work to do. Rest well. Pretty tune. You're better with your mouth than I would have figured. I like her. She looks like she could throw me over her shoulder and carry me to safety. Should the need arise. Perhaps I should hire a bard to follow you around and make a constant racket then, just to be safe. I jest. A vampire? Well, that explains the pallor. Given our group's nature, I don't see much harm. We're each monsters in the making, after all.
Quite the opposite. I'm here in the spirit of openness and honesty, to work together as a team.
Maybe we could get him to wear a bell. dissuade any nighttime prowling. If nothing else, you can at least soak up any arrows that are loosed at us. The famous Blade of Frontiers in the flesh. Clever, this hero act you've got going.
Hero, Blade, names strangers gave me. My friends call me Will.
Excellent. If we ever become friends, I'll know what to call you. Nothing. The trick of the light. I'll take you as I find you.
Repeat my instructions back to me, please.
Purple seam, you donkey.
You feel Shadowheart's deep protectiveness of the artifact. Though she doesn't understand it, she believes that her fate is entwined with it somehow.
Exactly. I'm just waiting for you to get really desperate before naming my price. Seluna. As if mingling with a horde of goblins wasn't bad enough. Let's do what we have to do, then get out of here. Good. I wasn't intending to. A ruin abandoned to a murderous horde is a very fitting dedication to Seluna.
Go on. Kiss my foot. Or I'll kick your head in, on face.
Kiss the damn foot. Worse things have been shoved in your face lately.
It will be worth it. I promise.
Go ahead. I'm sure you're in need of a little penance.
You want more? As you wish, dear one.
Don't wear her out entirely, priest. I might have use for her yet.
Wonderful. You want more? I'll give it to you.
Not the worst technique, priest. Good wrist movement. Lots of enthusiasm. Best not keep me waiting. I'd prefer not to entertain myself. He wasn't the worst company, bloodlust aside. Part of me will miss him.
He endangered the entire camp. Perhaps whoever invited him here should be more careful next time.
We certainly won't. I might start preemptively staking visitors through the heart.
Food. Eat more!
Careful. Once that thing's eaten through the camp, it might start looking at you hungrily.
No! Run!
I'm not chasing after it, if that's what you're thinking.
Strong! Show you!
The little beast's quite charming, once you get accustomed to the smell of rotting flesh. Who is to say? Perhaps she's keen to see me corrupt you. I can imagine she'd be delighted to turn a follower of Seluna towards the darkness.
Magic in your fingers sparks, but your spells fail again and again, consumed by the Susa flower.
What's the matter? I could swear this plant's got you flush. Chin up. I'll wager they'll come back as soon as we move away from here. Of course I am. You're not going to be undone by a flower, are you?
Slain the pretender. We knew in our hearts the god Boal was false. But you, we see you. We know you by your true name, Maglumba.
If you're expecting me to drop to my knees before you, forget it. If this place is as inviting as other aspects of Githyanki culture, we'll be in for an interesting time to say the least. So, the Githyanki have no cure for our condition. Unless you count death as a cure. I won't pretend to be surprised.
Now jump to it! Or it's up to the lift and straight to the shadows.
If I was that slave, I'd be tempted to add a dash of something poisonous to their drinks. Rings a bell? Why? Oh, hells. You didn't pick that by hand, did you? They're deadly poisonous. Joking! They're safe. And beautiful. Thank you. I don't have anything to give you in return, I'm afraid. Ahem. No, you shall not. I'd hate to reward a kind gesture by breaking your fingers. Not the cheeriest of inns, this place. But I suppose the mortal peril lurking just past the firelight is liable to put a dampener on the mood.
Careful. In future, you can't just stick your hand in every strange hole you come across.
I think your witty remarks were too much for him.
He's a blubbering wreck.
No, you do not belong. This is the Dark Lady's house. She is no use for old, faithless bones. That man changes allegiances more frequently than a courtesan changes their bedsheets. I'd trust this gasbag about as far as I can throw him, which isn't far.
Well-chewed spider carcass oozes on the ground. Your stomach lurches, but your loins tingle. Was that arousal?
Why are you looking at that dead spider coquettishly?
Your guts cramp, your stomach churns, and your nerves burn with a pain that would almost be pleasurable were it not so savage.
Honestly, what did you think was going to happen? You'd develop a taste for it? That silver tongue of yours is dangerous. Bravo! I can't believe you actually pulled that off.
You'd think I'd have more sympathy for someone trapped in a pod, but perhaps we should have left Mazora where we found her. Shit. No, keep back! No biting! This is worse than I thought. But kind madam, I am but a humble cleric. All I have belongs to my goddess.
Because with him, anything is possible. Way!
Gods, I hate clowns. I'm not even sure clowns like clowns.
You, my special assistant. Come on up.
Are you quite sure you have a friend called Shadowheart? Not an enemy?
Right there! Oh, perfect!
I'd advise you find someone to taste your food from now on.
I will look into your hearts and see if your love is eternal or doomed eternally.
You can't hurt, I suppose. Unless you embarrass me. Then you might find yourself hurting in a whole manner of ways.
How does one earn the dark-haired maiden's respect?
I would never. An imposter in our ranks. If this is true, it could be anyone. You, me. Well, not me, I know who I am. There's nothing like a stroll through some sewers to keep your sense of self-importance in check.
What are you doing? Come back and finish this yourself. You owe me that.
Let go, mother. Embrace loss.
Don't just stand there. Help me, goddammit! Help me!
I suppose we should aid him. Though I'd hate to miss the show.
As a blushing flush runs through you, you rejoice, anticipating all the pleasures you will feel without the world knowing.
My, you must find the city very appealing to be making those sorts of noises out in public.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Murdered by my son.
Charming. She mustn't have nursed him enough as a child. Or too much. Why, hello, lover. That sounded more debonair in my head, I'll admit. Hard to imagine, isn't it? Me, of all people, in the lair of the Moon Witch herself. Gods, your truest act of heroism was putting up with all that char and drivel I was spouting for so long. Must I? You presume a great deal. I'm joking. Of course I want to know. Tell me all. course I do. Everything sounds good when I say it. Ugh, the latrine's overflowing again. Watch your step.
Oh, I truly hope you're not speaking from experience.
Fine. With a little bit of spittle, chew your victuals, then play skittles. Congratulations, I think I've sprained my tongue. Oh, I've noticed. Ever since I first slipped into my camp garments, I should think. Forgetting something? Oh, come here and pay the tax, silly. That's more like it. Don't get into trouble, but if you must, fetch me first.